Today on the Ask BP podcast, we're talking about how can investors who quit their job still finance real estate? Stay tuned.
You're listening to another BiggerPockets Ask BP podcast, where you'll hear short, direct answers to your biggest real estate questions. Submit your question today on Facebook, Twitter, or the BiggerPockets forums by using hashtag AskBP. And don't forget to pick up your copy of the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Real Estate Investing and other great content when you sign up for your free account at BiggerPockets.com. With that, let's get to the show.
Hey, what is going on, everyone? My name is Brandon. Thank you so much for joining me on the Ask BP podcast, the show where once every weekday we come to you and we share with you the secrets to success. Just kidding. We share with you just things that we've learned, that I've learned, that Mindy, that Scott have learned about real estate in effort to help you to answer your questions. So today's question comes from Monica from Vancouver, Washington. And Monica asks this: I keep hearing and reading about people quitting their job to become full-time real estate investors. How are they able to get new real estate loans after quitting? Even though my property is cash flow, my W-2 income is a huge consideration for banks when I'm applying for a new loan. Great question, Monica. And this is something I used to wonder too. I used to say, man, I want to quit my job, but once I do, how do I get a mortgage? How do I get loans? And so I talk about this a lot here on the Ask BP podcast, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about it today. The idea of creative finance. I mean, here's the truth. When most investors quit their job, they're unable to get a loan from a bank anyway, at least a conventional loan. I'll say that again. When most investors are at the point where they can quit their job, it doesn't matter because they can't get a bank loan anyway. You see, most banks cap people at about 4 properties on their credit report, no more than 4. Some banks will go up to 10 properties. You can get 10 properties on your credit report before they start saying no. But 10 properties is probably not enough to quit your job. Maybe it is if you've got 10 houses that cash flow really well or something like that. But typically speaking, that's probably not enough. But even if it is, you quit your job, you're not going to be able to keep going forever on that income. So how do people do it? How do they finance it? Couple ways. One, a lot of investors at that point use the commercial lending department at a bank. See, the commercial lending department lends to businesses, and that's what you are essentially, right? When you're investing in real estate and you got lots of properties, you are a business. Just like Taco Bell down the street or the printing shop, you're a business that can take out loans as a business. And the commercial lending department will finance your deals. Now, typically they like to finance the big deals. They're not going to go finance a $50,000 house for you, probably. But I know investors who are buying like 4 or 5 or 10 houses at one time through the commercial department. That's one way. Now, they're going to care a lot more about the property than your personal income. Now, also, hopefully at the point where you quit your job, you've got enough money coming in from your rental properties or maybe from flipping or wholesaling deals that you can use that as income, just like you're self-employed. So it's not like people are quitting their jobs with no income whatsoever and just going to the bank and getting loans. They're just becoming self-employed and they're using the self-employment income to qualify for bank loans. Now, of course, that's not always true. A lot of investors still can't get loans even after they quit their job, even from a commercial loan department. So what do? Well, they're typically using more creative financing methods. A lot of the things that I talk about in the book on investing in real estate with no and low money down, which you can pick up at biggerpockets.com/no money. But those are a lot of techniques that they're using. For example, when I didn't have a job at all, when I had no income coming in, I could not get a loan, there's a few things I did. I liked using partnerships a lot. The idea of bringing on somebody who has a good job, who has good credit, who has good income, who has low debt, bring them into the picture, 50-50 partnership. I bring the deal, the experience, the hard work. They bring the credit, the income, and maybe the down payment, and together we buy a property. And so that's a good way to be able to qualify for loans, is using partnerships. You could also use seller financing. You could use the seller actually gives a mortgage on their property when they sell it to you, and you can buy it and you pay them every month instead of paying the bank. Now, typically, that only works well when they own the property free and clear, meaning the seller doesn't have a mortgage. But you'd be surprised at how many houses out there and properties don't have a mortgage. In fact, it's roughly 30% of all houses, properties do not have a mortgage. So the seller financing world is wide open. It's going to be a lot of fun in the next decade for that. So we got the seller financing. There's things like lease options. There's things like wholesaling. There's things like I talk about partnerships. There's syndication if you want to get into bigger stuff. And those are all things that you can do to invest in real estate more creatively. And that is what investors typically will do when they no longer can get bank loans. So hopefully that helps a little bit, Monica. But let's get out of here. Before we do, I want to hit today's success quote because I love this quote. It comes from Bruce Lee. That's right, the Bruce Lee, who said, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." Don't you guys love that? The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. I love it. All right, let's get out of here. Remember, in pursuit of your goals and pursuit of your dreams, don't just learn, but take action. Laser-like focus action. For the SBP podcast, my name is Brandon, signing off.
You've just heard another episode of the BiggerPockets Ask BP podcast. Submit your question today on Facebook, Twitter, or the BiggerPockets forum by using hashtag AskBP. And for more incredible real estate investing tools and education, including a free download of our book, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Real Estate Investing, head over to BiggerPockets.com and sign up for your free account today. We'll see you on the next show.